Alright, so this is going to be weird. This is going to be a sorter, a Touhou sorter, and it's going to be based. And it's also going to be based on my opinions of character height. Not necessarily all my opinions, you know, because there are some that are like, you know, a little more commonly expected. But some of these, my opinions are going to be influencing the decisions here for sure, because there are varying heights for varying characters. But, you know, there's a few things in there. First question I have, chat, before I start. What is the average height of a Japanese woman? Because knowing that will help me. And please give it to me in feet, because I am Canadian. Am I going to include PC98 in males? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. What is the average height? Is it 5 foot? It's 5 foot something, right? 140-ish is average, and I use meters. 4 foot. According to Google, it's 5'2". 4'9", 4'8". You know, 4'9" is booster seat height. Are you telling me the average adult Japanese woman is booster seat required? Are you... What? What the fuck? I can't picture that. Alright. They're small. I guess so, yeah. I guess so. So, yeah, I guess regular characters are about 5'2". How big am I? I'm like 5'11", I think. Let me see. When I stand up, this definitely helps me measure how tall I am, for sure, by standing up. If I knew how tall my chair was, my chair essentially goes up to my belly button. Huh. And I'm 5'11". Are they the size of my fucking chair? I need a ruler. I need a meter stick. I need something to measure here. Heights, man. We made them up. All right. I've already wasted 2.5 minutes with nonsense. So let's get this shit show on the road, shall we? And we're going to start big because this playlist has already decided to kick it in high gear. All right. So loud. I am in 5 exactly. I am a giant. Oh. Damn. Alright, I take that. But I'm not 6 foot. I'm either just barely 6 foot or just barely not 6 foot. I haven't actually measured myself in 4 years. Maybe 5 years. So, who knows? Anyway, what I'm saying is that I am about 1 centimeter between being a manlet and being a Giga Chad. I think I'm 6'11". Bro! That's over a head taller than me. What? You're massive. What the fuck? You're so tall! Alright. The song is now gone. I haven't even started yet. There we go. Drink calcium. I guess so. Ooh, Natori box. All right, I'll be ready, chat. So this is gonna be based on height. So we're gonna see what Dylan thinks of characters and their height because he's a weirdo. Now I'll be real with ya. I don't know about Miko. But considering Miko's stature, I would definitely put her taller than like Reimu and stuff. But I also feel like Jinko is really tall because she's Foxy Grandma. Yeah, I'd say Jinko is taller than Miko. Seki, Bonki, and Natori. Alright, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way and tell you right now. My favorite iteration of Natori is the one for Forbidden Scrollery, where she is literally half the size of Mamizo. So she is basically fairy height for me. So Natori is gonna be pretty low on this list. So Seki Banki. Momiji or Kutaka? To be honest, I always pictured Momiji as being slightly shorter than Aya, but Aya also wears those pump shoes So maybe Momiji is actually taller than Aya normally. Kutaka, though? I can't imagine her being that tall. I would say Momiji is taller than Kutaka. Kana and Yatsuhashi. Kana's like a young girl, I think. So I would give this to Yatsuhashi just based on that. Snai or Yoshika? Now this is actually a hard one. Snai is taller than Reimu, yeah? Yatsuhashi was literally born in DDC. You know what I mean, you know what I mean. Snai is taller than Reimu. I don't recall Yoshika being that tall, though. Yoshika's pretty much, yeah, she's... The only thing really separating Yoshika from, like, human height is the fact that she's dead, but she still was, like, a human, right? So, she's probably around the same height as Reimu, and I think Snai was taller than Reimu, so I would give this to Snai. Wow. That's a hard one. Now, to be fair, I think Kagero is a little bit taller than you'd give her credit for. I think she's taller than Sekibanki, at least, but I don't think anyone is taller than Yugi. No contest. Giga chat all the way. Nemono and Suako. Now, I don't know much about Nemono, but a lot of characters are taller than Suako. Ooh. Urumi or Yuka? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think Yuka's pretty tall. But Urumi's also pretty tall as well. Like you can tell Urumi's tall just from her 17 art because she's about the same height as Reimu in the portraits, but she's like slumped. She's slumped sideways, not standing upright tall, right? Like look at Urumi's Touhou 17 art. You see how her posture looks? I'm pretty sure if she was standing upright, she'd be like a whole head taller than Reimu. I do think Yuka's pretty tall though. I honestly think Urumi's taller here. Yuka seems taller by standing straight. Are you? I don't know. I think Urumi would be taller, honestly. We do have a tie button. That would mean they're the same height, but there's no way to prove that, right? Also, ties are for losers. Only losers click the tie button. Yuka feels taller, but it might be Urumi. Well, that's because Yuka constantly looks down on people, so it feels like she's taller than you. And it would be kind of funny if she wasn't tall and she looked down on you because she would actually be looking up. And that's when your head is removed from your body via umbrella home run. When in doubt, Booba equals height. My man! Watatsuki no Toyohime or Lyrica? Definitely Toyohime. Maribel or Aku? That's... Okay. I do think it's Maribel, but not by much. Maribel is college age. Aku is basically the same age. But Aku is like baby. Aku's a kid? I don't think so. I think she's adolescent, young adult. Probably a little bit older, or around the same age as Kozusu, but more mature given her stature. Definitely Maribel here. Quack or Mima? Well, what? Quack is not... Quack shouldn't be tall. But people like to draw her tall. What's up with that? And Mima floats. Mima doesn't have legs. Yeah, Mima floats. Her head wings give her an advantage. Then Mima's cat counts too, right? Mima has no feet. Well, Mima's like a mentor character, right? So she's obviously old. I would put her around the same height as Yuka, I imagine. And since we kind of have an issue there with seeing who's tall between the two of them, I would give this to Mima. Ebisu or Ellie? Easily Ellie. Rukoto or Tojiko? Pretty sure Rukoto is around the same size as PC98 Reimu, so not that tall. Another ghost legs here. Out of the three Taoists, I think Futo is the shortest. Blame 13.5 for that. I would probably put Tojiko just a couple centimeters taller than Miko, honestly. Maybe just because she'd be floating. But I think Tojiko is taller here. Flandre or Ron, that is the easiest one. Speaking of, Futo are mailing, easily mailing. Hekatia or Wag... Okay, this is a hard one because how do you define Waggy Saggy's height? Do you stretch her out and put her tail fin on the ground? Or is she as tall as she is when she's on her side? Waggy is long. It's a hard one, right? I'm pretty sure when Wagasaki Hime is like stretched out in length, she's taller than Kagero. You can see that in like fan works and stuff, right? She's kind of a cheat when you count her fishtail. But if I only count her human torso, then she's smaller than every character in the series, bar one. Hekatia, I would put it around the same height, maybe a little bit shorter than Junko. Tail counts only half. How do we measure Waggy? How do we do that? Ariel from The Little Mermaid is 5'4". Huh. Well, that's interesting knowledge. Chat. In Visionaries, when Reimu and Hekatia talked, does anyone remember how many heads taller Hekatia was to Reimu? Because I know compared to Okina and Clown Piece, like, Okina was sitting down and she still had to pick Clown Piece up to see eye to eye with her. I can't remember how tall Hekatia was when she was talking to Reimu and Marissa, though, in Visionaries. I'm afraid I'm not an expert in measuring mermaids. Thank you for the sub, Dorami on the floor. Wagasaki, man. Weird one. Weird one. We go by Booba, Waka still wins. From this art, to be precise. True. Very true. Do we count her globes? No, because they balance around her and sit on her head. Chot. Alright, I'm gonna give it to Waggy on the basis that when you stretch her out, that is her height. Alright? Because otherwise, whenever she shows up, it's gonna be a goddamn problem. Now, this is actually a bit of a hard one because Shion is quite tall. You can tell that she's much taller than every other character in 15.5. However, as I was saying earlier, Okina, while sitting down, had to pick up Clown Piece to see eye to eye with her. So, Okina's pretty tall. But again, Shion Sprite in 15, like, you can tell that she's also quite tall. She's mostly hunched over and floating. She is, yeah. But even when she's hunched over and floating, you can still tell that if she's stretched out, she would be over a head taller than Jun. But I also think Jun's just short. Fairies are around child, yeah. Shion's lanky ass. Shion's not as tall as Yukari, though. Yukari is a tall lady. Not taller than Ron, though. Honestly, I gotta give it to Okina, because I think Okina is probably around Yukari's height. And I'm basing that based on, like, just basically because they're both sages. Chirno and Hatate, at least when fairies pop up, it'll be a quick match. This will also be a quick match. Well, actually, will it? Chat, how tall is Iku? According to Zen, Yukari is actually in a higher height tier than Ron, so take that as you will. What? Really? Iku is the tallest character in Soku. I figured she was tall, but what about Shinki? Or does Shinki just Does Shinki just look tall because of her demon wings? Shinki is giant. From the Discord. What Discord? Everything I can ever think of shows Ron is taller than Yukari, but supposedly Yukari is actually the taller one. Maybe it's Ron's hat that makes her look taller. But I swear, like everything I ever see, Ron looks taller than Yukari. This is actually a hard one. I was gonna give it to Shinki, but I stopped there. How much taller do you think Iku is compared to Tenchi? Because Tenchi is actually rather small. Like, she doesn't look it in 10.5, but she really, really looks the part in 15.5. She basically only matches other characters' heights because she's standing on a keystone. So she's a small child. Oh, this is Taco Man's version of this theme. Have I seen the comparison of Iku and Tenchi in 13.5? You mean 12.3, right? Or 10.5? Well, I guess 10.5 and 12.3 be the same sprite anyway. This is not Hotel Kamishiro-sawa, no. This is Crimson Knight Behemoth. This is the Flandre level. Silly. 13.5, they were background Oh, the background characters. Hold on. Iku Nagai. Oh, you aren't supposed to see that, chat. Look away. Don't look at it. Give me a second. Let me see. Well, I see her, but I don't see her next to Tenchi. Alright. We saw that. I can see her sprite, but I can't see it in comparison to Tenchi's. But again, Shinki is like, she's like Boss Makai, right? I've seen art with her with Alice that usually puts her just a smidge above Alice, but I consider Alice to be fairly tall. But I don't really know. I'd never really thought of these two characters when I was thinking of like, how tall are you, right? Streamer revealed. Hopefully not. I gotta give it to Iku. I gotta give it to Iku because I don't know. I like her outfit. She has a slick outfit. Makes her look taller just by comparison. There you go. My reason is stupid, but it is a reason. That's an easy one. Edit is huge. Easy one. Komachi is huge. Oh. Okay, that's a hard one. Oh, hold on. You can't see Chot. Damn, Iku is literally a head taller than her. Look at this. Look at that. Tenchi's head stops before Iku's neck. That is not even close. Holy shit. Alright. Now, Sakuya is kind of tall. Comparatively to most characters and the main characters. However, I think Mioi is quite tall. She's not as tall as Mami's though. But I think that Mioi is quite tall. I haven't read Military as much. Mioi isn't much taller than Suika and near Aya sized. Oh, really? I thought she was way taller. Now that I think about it, I remember the image where she was looking down at Suika in her hat. And it wasn't that, it kind of looked like Suika's hat at least went up to her chest, so fan art skews your perceptions. Very true. She's very average. She just feels like a tall character for reasons that no matter what I say, chat will make their own, so whatever. We'll go with, I'm gonna go with Sakuya for this. Dayose or Tsukasa? Easily Tsukasa. Although Tsukasa is still pretty small. Although Dayuse is the big fairy. How big is she? Big. Orange and Jinko. Now, Orange is basically just mailing, right? Orange is basically mailing, but it's hard to really gauge her height. However, I think Jinko is pretty huge. Now this one I'm not sure about, because again, I don't think Miko is that tall, but I think she's at least like, fairly tall. Tall enough that people like have to look up to her, right? Although the question is, who's taller between her and Byakuren? She's probably taller than Reimu. I think she's taller than Reimu. She's also got the owl ears. Maybe because of her cape. Byakuren's taller. Are you being influenced by Booba chat? To be honest, I'd give it to Orange just based on the fact that I think Orange is kind of similar to, Orange is similar to Mailing. And that's not a good reason, mind you, but like, she seems like the kind of character who'd be decently tall. So I'm giving it to Orange. Chen or Sega? Now, I don't actually know how tall Sega is, but again, I know she's taller than Reimu because they've been seen together in the manga. As to how much taller? A decent amount. A decent amount. Definitely taller than Chen, though. New and Parsi. Okay, that's actually a hard one. I don't know much about Parsi. Parsi fans, I need your help here. Isn't Cheating Detective Natori Chen really tall? Is she? I haven't actually seen her. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen CDS Chen. Now, chat, I don't know anything about Parsi, so I need to be educated there. However, I've always pictured Nue as being more of a tall and slender character than a short one. They both feel like average height characters. Yeah. Couldn't Nue just change her height to be taller? No, this is based on their main appearances. So Suika will be judged as Suika, not Super Suika. Okay, yeah, so my personal bias is gonna leak into this one. And when I say I imagine Nue as being very slender. So when I think of slender, I think she has the height to back it up. So she's not super tall, but she's like, she's closer to tall than other characters would be, even though she's still kind of small. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Byakuren's pretty big. But Rika, you can't tell how tall she is because she's always sitting on her goddamn drums. But when you wear a suit like that, you ain't 5'3", alright? You wear fancy suits when you are at least 5'10". If you count the drum, then Riko's taller if she stands on top of it. It's probably still Byakuren, but Riko will come up later. Sekibonki and Luis. The suit makes her 5 feet taller. No, I'm saying that the tall girls wear the suits, and the suits look nice on the tall girls. So if the girl who was already basically wearing a suit looks good in it, then my assumption is that they are tall. Right? Does that make sense? To be honest, I think Sekibonki is a little bit on the shorter side because she's a bit of a brat. She's a little stuck up. And usually short people have an attitude. Source. Not me, I'm not short. When I think of her, Wagasaki, and Kagero all together, I see Sekibonki as being the shortest one by far. It's just, there's often times where her head is missing from the shot, so it's hard to gauge it properly. So I'm gonna give it to Luis, because Luis is probably standard average height, maybe a little bit taller, because she's a demon. Sanyo and Kikuri. That's not even fair, because Kikuri is literally a moon. And Sanyo... Okay, Sanyo's very tall, but Kikuri is a moon. How do I even do this one? What's the smallest moon? Oh, it's Busy Person. Which one is this? Vampire's Mansion. Oh, God. Classics, baby. Classics. If you took away the part of her that was the moon and only the human part, she would only be half a body. So this is gonna be this is a weird one. The moon looks small from here. I like that logic. Highly responsive to prayers characters are fucking huge. Well, you can shrink a few of them down. Like Ellie. Ellie's kind of big, but like I'd see her more as like Remy height because vampire, but yeah, Kongara and Sariel, I imagine those are not small. Those are not small ladies. I removed PC98 clones, so you won't see PC98 Rainbow, unfortunately. Chat, I feel like if I give this to Kikuri, Kikuri's gonna be at the top because she's a fucking moon. So, it's a hard call to make here. Do I make an exception for the monsters of highly responsive to prayers, or do I just put highly responsive to prayers at the top? Yeah, Kikuri is going at the top just based on the fact that she's a literal moon. She's fucking huge. All right, we're gonna play fair. We're gonna say the moon. We're gonna say it's the moon. Make an exception so it's more fair. See, the thing is, if I okay Kikuri, then the top half of the list is actually going to be the entire cast of highly responsive to prayers, outside of Mima and Ellie's. Again? What? I thought I randomized this thing. Oh, it's in here twice. That's why. Alright. Chad, I'm going to make an exception. I'm going to base this on the human aspect. So I'm afraid I'm going to treat Kikuri and Yugen Magan a little bit differently. Which is a little unfortunate, but like it's just to avoid it being a little silly. So I'm going to give this to Sanyo. Wriggle Nightboog or Yamashiro Takane. Now this is hard because I think when I think of Takane, I think of Natori, and when I think of Natori, I think of I'm going for your shins, Gremlin. So I think Takane is probably the same height, maybe a teensy bit taller than Natori. But I actually have no idea how tall Wriggle is. Wriggle is usually seen as the tallest one of the Chirno group, yeah? She's definitely shorter than Reimu, because she is Boog. But is she taller than a Kappa? What are bugs taller than Kappas? Well, she's boss bug though, right? Wriggle compared to the Kappa will be taller anyways. It's hard to say, right? Because again, my opinion of the Kappa is that they're all little water gremlins. Dai was the tallest. Dai is not real. Daiose is not real. I think Wriggle is the same height as Daiose. Well, one of them isn't real though. Dai was the tallest fairy, yeah, not necessarily Bug. I can recall them being roughly the same height. Wriggle isn't Boss Bug anymore since we got Big Centipede. True. True. It's really hard to picture Wriggle being taller than Natori. But at the same time, when I think of Forbidden Scrollery, I can't see it any other way. Forbidden Scrollery Natori is so short. It is amazing. Wriggle can only control insects smaller than her. Chad, I'm giving it to Wriggle. Oh, well, speaking of. Sariel or Kaguya? So obviously it's Sariel, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I've always pictured Kaguya as being on the short end of the spectrum. Barely shorter than Moko, but like only really taller than Tei out of the whole crew. Kokoro or Momiji? I don't know. Isn't Kaguya actually pretty tall? She's not taller than Edin, and I don't recall her being taller than Reisen. And because she's supposed to be eternally youthful, I assume she's around the same height as Moko, and I don't think Moko is that tall either. But Moko can be tall. I've seen art where Moko is taller than Kane, and I think that one is different than what I'm used to. Kokoro is taller than Momiji. How tall is Kokoro? How tall is she? She feels slightly taller than Reimu, but not by much. Kokoro is taller than Koishi, right? Yeah, but I don't know how tall Koishi is, so that's a hard thing to base it on. I think Satori is pretty short. That's for sure. So I'm if you consider the Naginata, she's definitely a tall girl. She wouldn't be able to swing that around if she was short, huh? Again, I think Momiji might actually be taller than Aya without the shoes. I'm gonna give it to Kokoro. The moment you've been waiting for. Eiki. One of the strangest characters to define height-wise in the entire series. However, Gengetsu has always been the one that I picture to be short. When I think of Mugetsu and Gengetsu, I think Mugetsu is tall and I think Gengetsu is shorter. So this one is, I'm giving this one to Eiki. Reisen or Yatsuhashi? Again, I'd say Reisen is around the same height as Sakuya. She's fairly tall. Not taller than Edin, but still taller than Kaguya. I would give this to Reisen. Yukari and Moko. So, apparently Yukari, by Zun's own words, is taller than Ron. And I think Ron's one of the tallest characters in the entire series. So this one's obviously going to Yukari. Snai or Hina? This is a hard one because I actually don't know much about Hina at all. And I don't think I've ever seen these two characters next to each other. Is Hina tall, or does she just have a imposing presence? Because she's a big poofy dress. I'm thinking of M1. See, I have to pull my height matchups from all different kinds of things. But I'm thinking of Touhou M1, and I've seem to recall that Natori is like almost a whole head shorter than Hina. And they're like both standing. So Hina's pretty tall. But is she taller than Snai? Would you say she's taller than Snai? Because the Moria trifecta goes Suako, Snai, Kanako in terms of height for sure. But what does Hina stack up there? This is stage 1 of SOEW. Hina's bow makes her look bigger than she is. Well, there's a number of things on other characters that make them look bigger than they are. In fact, that is one of the prime judging criteria I've been using. Yeah, SOEW stage 1 is very nostalgic for me. Hina seems barely taller than Snai. I can imagine it. I can imagine she would be just a little bit taller than her, because I think Snai is kind of tall. I don't know if I consider Snai taller than Sakuya, but I do think for a fact that Snai is taller than Reimu. I'm gonna go to Hina. Now Kyoko is really small, but Medicine is literally a doll. So Medicine is basically the same height as the fairies. So Kyoko. Reisen manga, I wouldn't consider her that much taller than Tei. Maybe a smidge taller than Tei. Definitely not taller than other Reisen. And then Kongura is fucking huge, so there you go. Sho's an easy tall one. Yugi, obviously. I definitely consider Shizuha to be taller than Minariko, but as I said, I do think Kagero is quite tall, especially when pictured with the other characters she's with. So I would consider Kagero to be above average height, but I'd also consider Shizuha to be above average height. But I would give the edge to Kagero. Clown or Jun? Now, this is going to Jun, but believe me, I think Jun is very short. Because she is 100% angst. And all of that anger is because it has nowhere to go. It's all bottled up in that small little body. The shakedown. But Clown is Clown, and I know how tall Clown is. Clown is basically the same height as the 3 Fairies of Light, and the 3 Fairies of Light in Sengetsusei are about half Reimu's size. And Sengetsusei height is already very small anyway, so you basically just kind of stretch them out normally from what you would there, and you still get the same thing. So they're about a head and then some smaller than Reimu, so obviously the fairies will be at the bottom. Jun is one of the smallest sprites in 15.5. Yeah, her and Tenchi, but Clown is a fairy, right? So she is short by nature. Yorihime or Seiran? I would consider Yorihime to be on the tall spectrum. Now, I don't remember how tall she was in Silent Center in Blue. Probably a little bit taller than Sakuya. Narumi or Sagame? What references are we really using to decide these? Fucking everything. Whatever, this is my bias speaking for the most part. My bias gets final say, but it's just a conglomerate of fan art, official works, whatever you can think of that puts characters next to each other, and then it's gonna just create a list. So like, this is what I think characters are. Sagame is quite tall. Is she? I assume Narumi is pretty tall because she's always standing up straight. How tall is Sagame? She is a god. I never really thought of her as tall though. I consider Narumi kind of tall though. She feels average. We did see her in Alternative Facts. Yeah, but she was sitting down. Narumi comes from Jesus, so maybe on the smaller side. Eiki also comes from that, and apparently calling her small is get you the guilty verdict. I remember Narumi and Sumereko talked. And Sumereko is the prime example of average height. So she's, I would put her at the same height, maybe a smidge taller than Reimu. But around the same height there. And I would assume Narumi was fairly taller than Sumereko. But I can't think of anything for Sagame. So I'm actually going to give this to Narumi. Nemono or Pachi? Pachi is shorter than Sakuya, taller than Remy. But she slouches and sits a lot, so it's hard to say for sure. I actually don't know how tall Pachi would be. Sagame is smaller than Doremi, and Doremi is the same height as Marissa. Whoa, what? Really? There's a Zun quote that Pachi, Yomo, and Marissa are all about the same height. Oh no. So Quackama I've seen art where Quackama is taller than Pachi, but if Zun himself said that she's around the same height as Yomo and Marissa, and we know we know how tall Marissa is. So this is obviously going to Nemono. But I'm gonna keep that in mind about Pachi. Ooh. Alright, well. Pachi's still here. 130 centimeters. Small. Do you think Suiko would be taller than Pachi? Suiko crouches down in her 12.3 sprite. Marissa's around a head taller than the Sengetsusei. And then Reimu's a bit taller than that. So Reimu's not that much taller than Marissa, but Marissa's definitely shorter than her. Remy's pretty short, yeah. I always figured Pachi is taller than Remy, but if Pachi's the same height as Marissa's pretty short. So Remy is still pretty short as well. Yorihime Sakuya shot from... Alright. Here, okay. This is a good image. Can you see that? Look at that smile on Sakuya's face. So, it looks to me that Yorihime is about a forehead taller than Sakuya. Yeah. So Yorihime is definitely on the taller side. Sakuya's pose. Yeah, right? That big old smile on her face. Chat, I'm gonna give this to Patchy because while it may not be the case, imagining Suako being shorter than Patchy. Alright, here's my example. Here's my example. Do you remember in Inaba of the Moon and Inaba of the Earth when Tei points to Suako on their roof and tells Raisin to go beat her up? And it just the camera just pans over and Suako is just hanging out on the roof of their building. And Raisin's like, alright, I'm gonna go kick her ass. And then Raisin gets the floor wiped with her. See, that Suako to me is like smaller than Tei. How tall is Suako in the fighting game backgrounds? Not very. She's like half the size of Kanako. Patchy's floating in Soku. I'm gonna give it to Patchy. You don't? Okay, I don't really need to know much about Mai to know that Kasume is one of the smallest characters in the entire series. Kurumi or Ichidan? Now I'm gonna say right now, Ichidan looks kind of tall in this artwork, but I actually think she's pretty short. I think she's the shortest member of Myoden Temple outside of Nazarin. And I think Kurumi is probably around the same size as Ramilia, so I think she's still smaller than Ichidan. Mistia or Sumireko? Now Sumireko, I think it's safe to assume Sumireko is about 5'2", maybe 5'1". So she's, she's average height. I'd put her slightly on the taller end, so 5'2", maybe 5'3". Mistia, I don't know for sure. I've seen her at her stall a few times, but she seems to be about the same height as like Reimu. So I would give this to Sumireko. I would give this to Sumireko by like a sliver. A sliver. Kosuzu and Urumi, easily Urumi. Easily Yuka. Compare Sumi to Moko maybe, so we can compare Moko to Mistia. How tall are those two? I would consider Moko taller than Sumireko. I would consider Moko taller than Sumireko, but not by very much. I think that Moko is not really tall because she has her youthful appearance. I think she's taller than Kaguya, but I don't think she's that tall in general. Like, and again, compared, she's shorter than Sakuya, but taller than Reimu. That's kind of where I see her. That's kind of where I see her. I feel like Moko is supposed to be physically small. She is because one of the effects of the Hodai elixir is that you retain your youthful appearance. That's why I also think that Kaguya is small. However, I also think that Moko based on her stature and her outfit makes me think that she's probably a little bit taller than she's still fairly tall for her appearance kind of deal, right? Because those are the kind of characters that usually have some height to them. Tenshi and Kogasa. Tenshi is a baby, so Kogasa. Kurumi and Touhou. Now, let it be known that this is the only circumstance, like the entire world, that I will ever click this character over that one. But I have to do it. Touhou is easily taller than Rumia. So is Lyrica. I don't know. Bro, what? I have no fucking clue. Alright, this is gonna be one of those instances where I smack tie. Just kidding, I'm not a bitch. Yuki and Mai. I give it to Sarah. Maribel or Sukuna? Maribel? Hey, Aki, you got a matchup you can win. Reimo or Megamoo? Megamoo's wearing those Gaeta, but I assume she's about the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Aya. Probably shorter than Shimada, and shorter than Momoyo, but taller than Tsukasa. Sunny Milk and Mike, easily Mike. Ray, easily Utsuo. She's huge. Mima or Alice? Now remember, I think Alice is actually pretty tall. Alice is tall enough that it makes Shinki, like, it makes me question if Shinki is really tall or short. However, Mima's also kind of tall. And I know that Alice appeared in Sengetsu-sei, and I seem to recall her being fairly taller than the fairies, by like a semi-decent margin. She's also European, yeah, so she's probably taller just by default there. Mima floats too, yeah, we all float down here. I'm gonna give it to Alice. Mugetsu and Nazarin. So again, I think Mugetsu is the taller one of the two. So she's tall and composed, and Gengetsu is, you know, short and hyperactive. That's how kind of I always see their dynamic. Not that you really have much to go on. And Nazarin is small, even if she is the giant rat who makes all the rules. Now these two have actually stood next to each other, and I cannot for the life of me remember what they looked like. I have no idea. I gotta give it to, I think Luna is the shortest of the three fairies. I actually consider Sunny the shortest of the three fairies. From tallest to shortest, I think it's Star, Luna, and Sunny. I'm gonna give it to Eternity Larva. Yumeko or Kane? Now, I actually think that Kane is tall, but a lot of fan art with Moko likes to put her shorter than Moko, which is fine, but I think Kane's tall because she's teacher lady, so she has regal air. Ellie or Tay? Ellie. Now these two are roughly the same size. Eternity is taller than Star from the panel where they bite her arm. Nice panel. Eika or Tay? Tay is really short, but Eika is like a child. Do foot-long ears apply to height? I don't really know how tall Eika is, because she's obviously a child, right? These two are really close in height, which is a weird thing to say. I'm gonna give it to Eika. Rikako or Renko? Alright, so this is the part where Dylan exposes all his biases. Number one, Rikako is in a lab outfit, and she's wearing pants. So she's obviously like 5'9", maybe taller. Renko, Japanese college student, probably the same height as Reimu. Alright, so my bias is taking control. Rikako is flying to the moon. I don't know. Is Rengo tall? She looks short because she's always sitting, but I don't think I've ever seen her standing up. And I think Mai and Satono are pretty short. I actually don't know though. Renko is taller than Mari. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. That one I can buy, because there's the cover arts and stuff you see of them. Renko has the booba tallness buff in my head. Yeah, Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ringo's probably taller based on real reasons. Are they as big as Okina sitting? I actually think that they're shorter than Okina if Okina is sitting upright. But I've only ever really seen fan art, so I can't say for sure. I think because they were humans, right? Mai and Satono were humans who were taken in to be Okina's retainers, yeah? So they're probably around average height as well. But I would put them a little shorter than Reimu. But it's really hard to say for sure because you never really see them anymore. Mai is slightly taller than Satono. I will note that for the future, but I'm going to give this to Ringo. Now, as much as I love Lily White, the fact that in one of the Sengetsusei chapters, they try to put Lily White in a glass bottle probably means that Lily White is incredibly small. And she probably gets bigger when spring is coming, but she was small enough that they considered putting her in a bottle, and then she showed up at the end of the chapter anyway, and she was so small. Like, tiny. Itty-bitty. So we're gonna go with Star. Tojiko or Rika? I don't think Rika's very tall at all. In fact, I would say Rika is average height. I really don't know about Rukoto, though. I don't know anything about Rukoto. She's a robot. I'd give her an inch or two over Rika, though. Meira or Yamame? Now, Meira just looks tall, right? Surely you understand what I mean when I say that. When a character you know nothing about looks tall. Yamame is not that tall. I think Yamame is pretty short. She is a small bottle of poison. But she is fun. She doesn't need to be tall. Well, there's the cheater. There's the cheater. And Ron, I mean, you can just tell by the image. Flandre or Suika? Yamame is roughly taller than Kasume. It's hard to tell. I would say Yamame is decently taller than Kasume, because Kasume is just a bucket, right? Alright, chat, here's my headcanon. I actually think Flandre is slightly taller than Remilia. Not by a whole lot, mind you. But, like, she is a little bit taller than Remilia. I think Remy is shorter. And Remy tries really hard not to let it bother her. And Suika can change her size, I know that. Kasume becomes extremely tall when you consider the rope that her bucket is tied to. But I can't see the rope. That's cheating. We're going off Suika height when Suika is in her most comfortable height, which puts her shorter than Reimu. And arguably as short as Marissa, not as short as the fairies, but Suika is a babby. Suika is a little one. Misamaru and Doremi. Now, Misamaru has old lady energy, so I just assume she's tall. And Doremi apparently is pretty small. She probably looks bigger than she is because of the hat and the smug expression. But I can't think of Doremi as being that tall. Especially not compared to Misamaru. Mailing Satori. I think Satori is a marshmallow. So, obviously Mailing. Okay, I know I said marshmallow, but I would still think that she's taller than Futo. Now again, my personal bias of Futo is 13.5 because 13.5 made her to be really short, and I think small Futo with a lot of energy to burn, literally, is funny. But Satori has always been a character that I think is like being short and really soft. She's really soft and really fragile. So she's not tall at all. But I would still consider her taller than Futo because Futo makes me laugh. Futo is short. She's just legs and a head. Mana no body is back. So yeah, my personal Futo is a bit of a gremlin. She's only a Futo tall. Benben and Satono. I actually consider Benben to be roughly on the taller side. Taller than Yatsuhashi, but only by a little bit. But taller than average height. Well, we know Yomu is considered short as fuck. And I'm pretty sure I've seen something before that states that Keiki is actually rather short. Or at least Mayumi is taller than her. But in this case, Keiki is definitely taller than Yomu. Letty or Shingyoku female? Letty is pretty big. Kanako or Wagasaki Hime? I would actually give it to Kanako here. Because Kanako is pretty big. Even if you take off the giant donut on her back, she's pretty big. Kishin, Seija, or Mayumi. Now, I think Mayumi is actually taller than Keiki by like a decent margin. I actually think Mayumi might be the second tallest character in 17, next to Urumi. Just because she was built that way. She's taller than Yashie and she's taller than Saki. So I would give this to Mayumi here. Okina and Minariko. Well, I think Minariko's shorter than her sister, so Okina here. Shion for sure. Koishi and Ellen. To be honest, I consider Ellen to be around the same size, maybe even shorter than Marissa, so I would give this to Koishi. I also assume that Koishi is a bit taller than Satori. Kind of like how Flandre is taller than Remy. This is the arranged version of Immaterial Missing Powers Vermilia theme. Not as good as the original, but I'll take it. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's a good one. Alright, chat. This is a good one. Because they're actually both in the shoes, right? Who's taller here? Who is actually taller here? You can't even really use the images base. Well, no, not really. I like Happy and taller than Aya somehow. Tall Aya supremacy. I wouldn't even say they're that tall, but I like Aya's paperboy outfit, so I would assume Aya's paperboy outfit requires a decent height to look good in. So, personal biases and pants, as per usual. We're giving that to Aya. Remilia and Lunasa. I don't consider the Prison Rivers to be that tall because they're literally the ghost in the form of Layla's sisters when they were young. So they're pretty short. But I still think that Lunasa is taller than Remy. And Lunasa is the one I actually consider Lunasa to be just a smidge shorter than Merlin, despite Merlin being the middle child. She's tall, don't get me wrong. But I think Merlin is roughly the same size, or maybe a tiny bit taller. And then Lyrica's noticeably shorter. I feel like the sisters go Merlin, Lunasa, Lyrica. Yeah, that's how I see them. Momoyo and Marissa, no contest. Yashie and On's pretty small. On is shorter than Reimu, so she's a small pupper. So I'm gonna give this one to Yashie. That's easy, Mamizo. Sailor fight. Now, I'd like to remind you that Chiuri is straight up like a 15-year-old. She's either 15 or 17, and Yumemi is 19 or 17. I can't remember. But I do know that Chiuri is a university student. Yeah, she's 15. She's a university student, and Yumemi, while being 19, I think? 17 or 19, she is a university professor. Because that's how advanced the world is. That's how advanced the world they come from is. The grand unified theory exists in their world. That's how advanced it is. Or I wouldn't say it exists. More like the grand unified theory has been proven, and you made me wanted to prove magic was a part of it. I would give this to Murasa, yeah. I don't think Murasa is taller than Byakuren or Sho. I also don't think she's taller than Nue, but I do think she... Oh, Sakuya or Komachi? Komachi. Ellie. Again, I think of Ellie as being more Remilia height, maybe more Flan height. And obviously, when you compare it directly to Sakuya, Sakuya's taller. Mioi and Ellie, same issue applies. Easily Jinko. Easily Orange. Tsukasa's pretty short. I would say Tsukasa's pretty short. She is a little conniving fox. So, I know she's shorter than all the important characters and 18. I don't think she's that tall, but she is a fox, right? I would still say Miko's taller than her. Nue or Sega? I have no idea. It's hard to tell with Sega because she never really stands up. She's always floating. However, she is pretty old and matured. Yeah, I would argue that Sega, based on her personality, would be taller. But I don't think she's much taller than Nue. Because Nue's personality is not that, I wouldn't say not that chaotic, but she's not that, like, childish in terms of her mischief, I suppose. Like, she can be a shitter, for sure. But there's something about the way Nue, like, conducts herself, I suppose, that makes her, doesn't make her feel like a gremlin, I suppose, when she's fucking with people. She feels like a serious character, even though she has potential to be a goofy character. I'm gonna go with Sega. Chen or Nue? I would consider Nue. Parsi or Chen? I have no idea how tall Chen is anymore. Chat, can somebody give me a picture? Could somebody give me a picture of Chen next to Ron in CDS? Can I see that? Because if I can see that, I can gauge that a little better. Because I have always seen Chen as being like hug-sized for Ron. So to hear that she's actually like decently tall in comparison is like, oh. Zun emails say Chen is on the level of Remilia, Lyrica, Chirno, Rumia, and Flandre. Oh. So Chen is about the same height as those ones. And I consider Flandre taller than Remy, so I guess stick her in the middle. In which case I would put Parsi taller than her. Those emails were way before CDS. Remember, CDS is also a different artist. Not necessarily, not Zun himself, right? So it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Maybe she grew up. I don't know. Chen got taller in CDS. I need an image. I need an image. That's for sure. There it is. Hold on. Hold on. Holy shit. Chat, look how tall she is. Also, yeah, Yukari looks huge. Yeah, if Chen just straightened her back, she would only be a head shorter than Ron. Wow. Okay, Chen had a growth spurt. Careful who you call short in PCB, I guess. Damn. Yeah, she got big. She's really tall. What the fuck? That's so weird. Alright. We'll give it to Chen. The Akadin for sure. Gotta give it to Raiko. Sanyo easily. Kikuri. Sariel. I would consider Kokoro taller than Kaguya. I would also consider Momiji taller than Kaguya. I would say these two are fairly close. But I think Kutaka would be a hair taller. Raisin and Eiki. I would give this to Raisin. Yatsuhashi. Yatsuhashi versus Eiki. Trying to think of what I consider to be Eiki's height. Because I know she's shorter than Komachi, but Komachi's quite tall, so it's hard to really like hone in on that appropriate size. Please consider the good deed you can do right now. You need to put her at the bottom of the list. I have no idea how tall Eiki is supposed to be, but in most art I see of her with Komachi, she's about, not shoulder length, but around shoulder length to Komachi, so I would put her around above average height. I think she would be a little bit taller than the Tsukumo sisters. I think they would be taller than Gengetsu. I would think Gengetsu's taller than Kana. Yukari is taller than Hina. Hina's taller than Moko. I would say Snai is actually taller than Moko. Because again, I think Moko is shorter than Sakuya, and I think Snai and Sakuya are around the same height. This is a good one, actually. I would give this one to Moko. Barely, but I would. Kongura or Kyoko? Kongura. I don't even remember how tall Raisin is. Or how tall Kyoko is. But I don't think Kyoko is that tall. If Eiki's around Komachi's height, that's probably taller than Benben's sister. Yeah. Komachi's one of the tallest characters, in my opinion. And it's just, usually when I see them together, Komachi isn't that much taller than Eiki. But for some reason, fans really latched onto the idea that Eiki was like 2'5". I don't know what happened there. Chat, I'm gonna give it to Kyoko because Kyoko's voice makes her seem larger just in comparison. Although I do think Raisin would be taller than Medicine. Yugi is taller than Sho. Sho is taller than Kagero. Kagero is taller than Merlin. Shizuha is taller than Merlin. Dorihime is taller than Jun. Seirin is taller than Jun. Nemono is taller than Narumi. Narumi is taller than Pachi. Sagame is taller than Pachi. I'd say Ichidan is taller than Mai. I'd say Mai is taller than Kurumi. I'd say Kurumi is taller than Kasume. Kurumi is taller than Sumireko. Yuka is taller than Sumireko. Sumireko is taller than Kozusu. Kozusu is not that... I'm pretty sure Kozusu is around the same height, if not shorter, than Akyu. And Akyu is already pretty fun-sized. So, Kozusu is going to be down there. Oh, this is a good one, actually. Mistia or Kozusu? Yeah, Kozusu's short compared to Akyu, which is definitely saying something. How tall is Mistia to Kyoko? Aren't they around the same height? Part of me wants to say Mistia is a little bit taller, but I might just be looking at her hat. I think there's an image of them together in Alternative Facts, yeah? There's a fan image of their band together. Hold on, Shot. Enjoy this. I'm gonna get a drink because my throat's getting dry. Alright, I'm here. Mistia feels like Kyoko's rebellious big sister. Mistia doesn't rebel. She's just a con artist. She's a con artist who likes to sing. But her songs actually are pretty powerful, according to Eiki. Fogo Gikaku. That is such a good image. Alright, we have to just dissect this a little bit. So Mistia is standing upright, and Kyoko is bent down. And from the perspective, they look about the same height. But the perspective is also from below, so it's impossible to really gauge that. However, Kyoko's ears seem bigger, so she's obviously closer to the perspective. It's hard to say. I honestly can't tell. They're definitely very close in height, but one of them is probably a little bit taller than the other. Is that Raisin in the mosh pit on the left? It is. What the? It is. That's her droopy ear. I don't think that's Nue. I think that's just a human. Because they seem to, they've attracted the popularity of humans. And if it was Nue, you would see her wings poking out, right? And it would disrupt the image. But that is definitely Raisin there in that picture. Alright, so going off this, I would actually say that Kyoko is a tiny bit taller than Mistia. But that's still taller than Kosuzu. Touhou is tall. Kogatsu is taller than Lyrica. Now, I do think Lyrica is the shortest one of the Prism Rivers. I do. But, like, Tenchi is like Marissa-sized. She's so small. She is a bundle of anger and sass. In Wild Horn Hermit, Tenchi's only a half a head smaller than Komachi. But in 15.5, She only matches other characters' heights because she's standing on a rock. It's also the comparison image we got of 13.5 with Iku. So I'm gonna go with the official fighting games for that over the over Wildhorn Hermit, because I like the idea of her being short. I think Tenchi being short makes her character funnier as a result, because her behavior is short people behavior, right? She is definitely the kind of character to take a swing at your shins with her her cool laser sword. Tiny person on a high horse. Flawless logic. I try. Oh. Okay. Now, I do think Tenchi is taller than Rumiya. I do think that. I think Rumiya is barely taller than Chirno. She is small. I would give it to Tenchi. Sarah and Maribel. I give it to Maribel. I really don't know anything about Sarah. I really don't. But I would probably assume she's taller than Akio. Yuki would probably be a little bit taller. Megamoo's taller than Mike. Oh, there's Reimu. Chat, how tall is Mike? That is Reimu's first appearance, yep. Cat-sized. Is she as tall as Oren? Because I consider Oren to be pretty tall. And I didn't consider Chen to be very tall, but now I do. But Mike seems kind of tall. And remember, I consider Reimu to be like 5'3", right? Peak average height. Not too tall, not too small. Sitting Reimu specialty. Think about Oren's size. She looks tall. She looks tall to me. She's probably closer to Oren's size, and I think Oren is taller than Reimu. She looks fake short. I kind of get what you mean. Something about her design makes me think she's kind of like tall, but I think this is because her outfit makes you like lets you see more of her skin, kind of deal. I think Takane was bigger than her. I'm gonna give it to Mike. Oh, that one's obviously going to Reimu. Now, I do think Alice is kind of tall, but Oku is one of the tallest characters, easily. Alice is taller than Tokiko. Mima is taller than Tokiko. Kwakama is taller than Tokiko. Mugetsu is taller than Eternity. Nazarin, okay, Nazarin is short, but she's not a fairy. Kate is taller than Ellie. Yumiko is taller than Ellie. My bias. Science lady. Renko or Ringo? What do you think, chat? Oku had to bend down to talk to Kanako in that one manga, and was still a head shorter than her. Oku is fucking massive, man. She's so big. Ringo, Renko. I'll give it to Rinko. I'm giving this to Renko, though. I would argue that Renko is taller than Mai and Satono. Kojiko is obviously taller. Rokoto is taller. Rika is taller. Ron is taller. Maeda is taller. Ooh. Yamame feels taller to me. Yamame doesn't feel that tall to me, but she feels taller than Flandre to me. Especially if he grows her spider legs. I would give it to Yam. I think Mei Ling's taller than Misamaru. Misamaru's taller than Satori. Now these two are both equally as small as they are smug. I would give it to Doremi, because again, I think Satori is quite small. Keiki and Ben. Now, again, I seem to recall something about Keiki being on the short end of the stick. So I actually think Ben's taller than her. Not even by a small amount. Satono might be taller than her too. If Satono is taller than Mai, I would put Satono around Rainbow's height. And then I put Mai below Rainbow's height. But I don't know how tall I don't know how tall Keiki is. I guess Keiki would be around the same height. I really don't know though. She feels tall, but I really do. I think I recall something about her that said she wasn't that tall. Keiki had like the biggest sprite in the game. I think she did, yeah. But something was definitely something in my mind is like, yeah, she's short, dude. This is the music that plays when Yumemi threatens you. I see her being kind of short. I would say taller than Satono at least. Satono is taller than Yomu. Kanako is taller than Letty. Fish is taller than Letty. Letty's taller than Hikatia. Hikatia is taller than Shingoku. Okina is taller than Mayumi. I think Shion is just slightly taller than Mayumi, only because she's lanky. But Mayumi is not that far below her. Mayumi's taller than Minariko. Minariko is taller than Sage. I think Sage is actually quite short. Sage's attitude makes me think she's short. Shorter than Nue, which is weird because they're usually together and they don't look that different in size. It's weird how I think of Nue as being on the taller end and then Sage is in the shorter end. Short characters are so aggressive, man. I think Seiya is as big as Sekibanki. I think Sekibanki's pretty short too, though. I consider her quite short compared to her buddies. Minariko I do think is shorter than her sister, but I would say she's still taller than Seiya here. Aya I think is taller than Koishi. Hat's taller than Koishi. Koishi's taller than Chirno. Ellen's taller than Chirno, although just barely. Momoyo is... I think Momoyo's a big lady. Lunas is bigger than Marissa. What about this one? Who's taller here? Because Marissa is very small. Remy is Gremlin. Marissa, not by much though. Yeah, I would say Marissa is still taller than Remy. But like, if she took off her hat, you would have to like do a double take. I'm gonna give it to Marissa. Easily, Mamizo. I think Minamitsu's taller than Yashie. I'd say Yashie is taller than Chieri. Chieri is taller than An. Ooh. 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 Iku Shimada. See, I think Shimada is quite tall. I actually think Shimada is pretty tall. I don't think she's taller than Momoyo. Actually, I do. I do think she's taller than Momoyo. I think Shimada is the tallest character in 18. Megamoo is slightly shorter. Momoyo is around the same height as Megamoo, and then Shimada is taller than both of them. Yiko also seems really tall, yeah. Yiko is a classy woman, but Shimada is also a classy woman. She just dresses in rainbows. Yiko beats up by a little bit, but you're subconsciously counting her hat. Chat, my bias here is going to pick Shimada. I think they're roughly the same size, but I would give Shimada just a little bit more on that. Just a little bit more. I do think Iku's taller than Yumemi though, even though Yumemi and Shimada remind me of each other. Shinki and Yumemi, I give it to Shinki. Kasen and Yumemi, I would give this to Kasen, but I don't think Yumemi is that short. I think Yumemi is at least like around Kasen's height. Edin, oh, this is a hard one. Edin versus Yiko. I lean more towards Edin. I think Edin is very tall. It's a stage 3 SOEW. You are correct, my friend. World of Empty Dreams. I would give it to Edin, even though I know Yiko is quite tall. She usually floats. But Edin is just like... They don't call her the brain of the moon for nothing. Right? Takes a while to get up there. See that head? 5 head right here. Yiko is taller than Rin. Oren is taller than Saki. That's a funny mental image right there. Kotohime. So Zun said that Saki is quite short. I would put her in not gremlin size, but I would put her in self-conscious of her height size. So like maybe right at 5 foot, maybe 5'1". Because she has an attitude for sure. And she wants to make herself appear bigger with her wings. So she's probably around that awkward height. I'm gonna give this to Kotohime because I think Kotohime is probably moderately sized. Jinko and Komachi. Honestly, Jinko. I do think Komachi's really tall, but I don't think there are a lot of characters taller than Junko. There's just something about her that there's something about her appearance and her attitude that makes you think, yeah, she's big. Komachi's bigger than Orange. Now, I did say Orange reminds me of Mei-Ling, so she would be tall, but there's really not much else to go on off of that. So I'm gonna give this to Sakuya here. And then Orange would be taller than Mioi. So I guess I would consider Orange like Mei-Ling, but shorter, like younger Mei-Ling kind of deal. So she would be between Sakuya's height and like Sanai height, I suppose. Komachi is bigger, if you know what I mean. Well, that is arguable. It all depends on who you ask, because they're both packing some serious Danmaku. They got some spell cards for you. I would give this to Orange. I would give this to Miko. I would give this to Mioi. I really don't think Tsukasa is that tall. I think she's shorter than Reimu. I do think she's taller than Ellie, though. Ellie would be barely taller than Daiusei, although I think Daiusei gets really close. Byakuren for sure. Raiko. Soup Bias. Sega. Give it to Nue. I give it to Chen. I would give it to Louise, just based on the fact that she's a Makai demon. Parsi's probably taller than Sekibanki. I've seen Yugi with Parsi a lot, and Parsi doesn't seem short, necessarily, but she definitely seems like average to like above average. So I wouldn't say she's short. I would say she's definitely taller than Sekibanki, though. Sariel. Sanyo. Kokoro. Momiji. Natori, Niwatari. Kikuri is getting pushed away because I don't know how to rank her properly. She's not a real character. She's a fucking moon. Yukari is taller than Raisin. I would actually give this to Hina by a, not even like a small amount, maybe a decent bit over Raisin. These two are probably around the same height, but Raisin's bunny ears make her look taller, so I'm giving this to Raisin. Oh god, alright. Who's taller between these two? Embrace tall Aki. No. No, I don't think I will. Go with Snai. I think Snai's taller than Aki. Not by much, mind you, because again, I think Snai is just a smidge shorter than Sakuya. And I think that Aki's not that short compared to Komachi. So I would say she's taller than Moko. This is a close one. I honestly think Yatsuhashi would be a smidge taller. Moko would be taller than Gengetsu. Yoshika would be taller than Gengetsu. This isn't fair. Kongura is literally massive. So, she's going up top. Yugi. Sho. Kagero. She's, I give it to Merlin. Oh, that's a tough one. Yorihime or Nemono. Both of these characters exude a very tall aura. And as we saw, we know Yorihime is taller than Sakuya, but Nemono feels like a tall character. Nemono is a cave lady. She's a mountain hag. But we saw a picture. Actually, I still have it, I think. Yeah. So down there, you can see Yorihime compared to Sakuya. And Yorihime is about a forehead taller than her. So Yorihime is quite tall. But Nemono is not one I know much about. And I assume she's fairly tall. Can Nemono out-tall Sakuya? I don't know. Nemono against Misamaru. I really don't know here. These two are probably really close in size. They're obviously both very tall. This is the bass music from Double Focus, yeah. It's really hard. It's a really hard call to make here. I think I'm gonna give it to Yorihime. I think Yorihime is taller than Nemono. And then Sayori or Narumi. Sayori has a reputation of being the taller moon rabbit. I know that, but I don't really get that. I don't consider her taller than Raisin. I consider Raisin to be the tallest rabbit. I would consider Sayori to be the second tallest rabbit, maybe. I don't really know how she stacks up with Ringo. But honestly, I would say, I think the rabbits aren't that tall in general. And I like Narumi more anyway. So I would say Narumi is taller. Sagame or Seiden? Sagame. Seiden would be taller than Patchy. I think Patchy would be taller than Jun. Oh god. Last word story card has Racing and Save it around the same height. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, the Dongo Stand one. But I don't know. I don't consider her that tall. Maybe it's their ears that do it. Suako or Jun? This is actually a hard one. I don't know, they're both pretty bite-sized, huh? Would Jun be taller? Probably not by much, though. This would be a close one. I could see it being Jun. I have a very short bias to Suako. Cause she likes to hop. She's still taller than Clown though. Urumi or Ichidan? Easily Urumi. Easily Yuka. I do consider Sumireko to be taller than Ichidan. I consider Ichidan to be taller than Mistia. I would consider Laura Mistia to be taller than Mai. I would consider Mai to be taller than Kozusu. Did you say Kozusu is around the same height as Remilia? Probably not. It's like Kurumi is probably taller than her. She's taller than Kasume. Maribel or Toyohime? Toyohime. I would say... I believe Kogasa is taller than Reimo. I would say Kogasa is barely taller than Maribel. But I think Maribel's taller than Lyrica. Sara, I don't know. Lyrica's... I think Yuki and Mai are short. I would... Yeah, Kogasa's taller than you'd expect from her. Considering her character. I'd give it to Tenchi. I think Yuki and Mai are quite short. Not that short, though. Oh, God. Akio. Oh, Rumi, hey, there you go. Rumi got a win. Easily Oku. Oh, that's a hard one. Alice versus Megamoo. To be honest, I would give this to Alice. Wow, I didn't realize how tall I think of Alice as. Even in Busy Person, she's probably the tallest character. She's got some height to her. Mima or Megamoo? I would give that to Megamoo. No, would I? Would I? Would I? You know what, I would, because I think she's the tallest Tengu so far. I would say Mima's taller than Mike, though. Mike's taller than Koakuma. What is this? Oh, this is Minstrel's Tune from Busy Person. I think Quack is bigger than Patchy. But I don't know if Quack's bigger than Reimu. I actually have always thought of Quack as being kind of tall, even though her name implies that she's not that tall. But I guess she's small for her species size, yeah? I don't think Quack's that small. I think she's the third tallest character in the SDM, taller than Flandre, but only shorter than Sakuya and Mei-Ling. So I would actually give this to Quack. I don't know what Tokiko's even doing here. Kiko ain't even real, dog. Sunny Milk. Tokiko. Kane. Oh, wow. Mugetsu. Yumiko would be taller than Nazarin. Ellie would be taller than Nazarin. Nazarin would be taller than Eika. Eika would be taller than Larva. Tay would be taller than Larva. Ooh, here come that personal bias for Kako. I think Tojiko would be taller than Ringo. I think Ringo would be taller than Rukuto. I think Renko would be taller than Rukuto. I think Rikuto would be taller than Mai. Mai is the shorter of the two, so they're roughly the same size. I think Mai might be a little bit older than Rika, though, so I would give just a little bit to her. Oh, Mailing and Ron. Oh. This is a hard one. Both of these characters are very tall. I'm giving it to Ron. I'm giving it to Ron because Ron has a more motherly feel to her character. Mailing, I do think Mailing is tall because she is 100% leg, but like Ron's appearance and behavior, at least mostly in fandom, makes me see her as like, you know, also her age. She's got the 9 tails. I see her as being quite tall and mature and wise. And I do think Mailing is tall, but Mailing is tall because Mailing has big leg. Mailing is still taller than Maida, though. Ooh, that's a hard one. I give it to Misamaru. And then Maida. Ooh, who would be taller here? Who would be taller here? Mailing's legs are probably taller than 2/3 of the entire cast. Yeah. Mailing fans are eating great, man. There are characters in this series for them leg fans. I don't really know how tall Doremi would be. Again, I don't think Yamame is that tall. I don't think she's that tall, but I also don't think she's like vampire levels of short. I kind of like the idea of Doremi being on the smaller side because it would make her smug attitude make her look cuter. So I'm gonna say I like Doremi small. Oh shit! Well, speaking of Flandre, you know what? You know what? Oh, you know what it is? It's because Doremi's expression reminds me of Konata from Lucky Star. And that little fucker is short. So whenever I see that smug expression, I'm like, yeah, you're a gremlin. I actually say that Flandre is taller than her. I would say that Doremi is shorter than Flandre, taller than Remilia, taller than Suika. Oh, you're doing me dirty here with this one. Satori is taller than Suika. Futo. Kanako. Beesh. Letty. I would give that to Katia. Ben. I don't know anything about Shingyoku. No idea who that is. Hold on, did I not include the right characters? Remove non-girls. Oh, I clicked the... I didn't... Shit. Will I have to do this whole thing over again if I click that, chat? I was wondering where they went. Well, to be fair, that pretty much only puts Renosuke, Unzan... Like, Renosuke's already going to be pretty high up there. So I'm going to leave it alone, but I'm surprised that didn't save. Renosuke was going to be in top 10, though. Yeah. But, like, all the other male characters, it wouldn't have really mattered. Because I would have just vetoed Unzan out because he's a strange one. And the fortune teller is the fortune teller. He's missing a vital part of his body. Alright, I don't know anything about Shingyoku female at all, so I'm just gonna give it to Keiki. Satono. I'm gonna push Shingyoku to the bottom. Okina, Shion, Mayumi. I'd say Ai is taller than Minariko. I'd say Hat's taller than Minariko. Koichi is a smidge taller than Minariko. Minariko's taller than Ellen. Sage is taller than Ellen. Mamizo is taller than Momoyo. Momoyo is taller than Minamitsu. I think Murasa is Murasa's taller than the Prison Rivers. I would argue Lunasa is actually taller than Yashie. Yashie is taller than Marissa. Chieri is taller than Marissa. Marissa is taller than An by a tiny bit, which means Vermilia would be taller than An. Oh, okay. This still goes to Edin. This 100% still goes to Edin. Oh, that's also a hard one. I would say Yiko is still taller than Shimada. I do think Shimada is taller than Rin, though. I'd say Iku's taller than Rin. Shinki's taller than Rin. This is a hard one. Chad, have these two ever been together in the same panel before? Ugh. Oren is shorter. Do you have even a single fact to back that up? I think Oren's fairly tall, honestly. But, again, Kasen... I call Kasen medium size, but that's comparing her between Suika and Yugi, who are pretty tall. Well, Yugi is pretty tall and Suika is pretty small. I would give this to Kasen. Yumemi and Rin. I would actually give this to Yumemi. I think Yumemi is shorter than Rikako, but I do think she's decently tall. Ooh, Junko. Komachi. Byakuden. Oh, Raiko. I actually think Sakuya would be just a tiny bit taller than Sega. Sega's taller than Orange. I think Orange is shorter than Sakuya. I would actually put Orange above Nue then. I put Nue above Miko. Chen is pretty fucking tall though. Hold up. Chat, do you think Chen is taller than Miko? Because that CDS art makes her big. Miko is large in character. She's grand in character. Yeah, Chen's huge, dude. She is no longer a lap kitty. I think Miko... I don't think Miko is super tall. I don't think she's super short either. But I do think that she is... I do think that she, like, her character leaves a bigger impression on you, so you would assume she's bigger. Crushed pelvises. Chen is tall. Yeah, check this out. Look at this. Look how tall that is. If she stood up straight, she's like a head shorter than Ron, and Ron is tall. Like, she grew up between PCB and CDS. I couldn't believe it either. I was like, oh, she's tiny. She's a big girl now. She's growing into her role. Whoa, yeah, that's what I said. It's whack. I'm gonna give it to Chen. I am gonna give this to Miko though. Give this to Luis. I would actually give this to Parsi just because you usually see her paired up with Yugi, and Mioi doesn't seem that much taller than Suika. I do think Mioi is taller than Sekibanki though. I think Sekibanki's taller than Tsukasa. Natori is like 2 feet tall, so I would give this to Tsukasa. I would actually still give this to Ellie. I really, really like short Natori. Half of Mamizo's waist Natori. Fairy-sized, fun-sized Natori. I love that Natori. She's so cute. The Forbidden Scrollery art slightly does her dirty. Oh, speaking of Natori, it's Natori box. This game has a fantastic OST. Her bag is bigger than she is. It's true. It's true. I'm gonna give this to Ellie. Oh, oh, shot. Who's bigger? Who's bigger? Huge die. Tiny Kappa. The tiniest Kappa versus the biggest fairy. Do you think Daiusei would be taller than her? I actually do like to consider Daiusei as being not super tall, but like, you know, like big for a fairy size, to a point where some people could confuse her to be like a small yokai. Like I would consider her taller than Rumia. So people would think she's the yokai. Or they'd see Chirno and think they're all yokai, because Chirno and Daiusei are like the only one that are actually fairies. And if you look at those two, and Daiusei's size and Chirno would make you think, oh, those are not fairies. I'm gonna give it to Dai. Okay, now in a reasonable world, Yukari wins this, but we live in a world where Sariel is like 12 feet tall, and she is she's very big. So, yeah. Yukari is huge. Oh, I would actually give this to Sanyo. Hina for sure. I think Grace is taller than Kokoro. I do think Snai is taller than Kokoro. What song is this? This is Natori Box, stage 1, I believe? Number 4 on the OST, inline. The OST is downloaded for free. You can get it for free with the game. I grabbed it because I wanted the game anyway, and a lot of the music in it is very, very nice. It's a fun game, too. It's a very fun game. I wish I could have played it in English. Alright. So I do think Kokoro is pretty tall, but I would say Eiki is a bit taller. I do think Kokoro is... I don't know if Kokoro's that tall. I would put her below the Tsukumo sisters, honestly. I think she's taller than Moko, though. Oh. These should be fun to watch fight, I think. Momiji is real. Nope. Fake. I would give it to Momiji by a tiny bit. I would give this to Moko. I would give this to Kutaka. What the hell is this? Dimension of Riviere. It's one of the seasonal Dream Vision tracks. Yoshika or Kaguya? I would actually put Yoshika above Kaguya, but below Moko. Kaguya above Gengetsu. I'm gonna just push Kukuri in the back. Kongara, obviously. Yugi. Ooh. Honestly, I think Sho is taller than Yorihime. Sho is a big lady. Although I do think Yorihime is taller than Kagero. Nemono is taller than Kagero. Kagero is taller than Narumi. MS Mystic Square Stage 2. Okay. I would honestly give it to Shizuo. Merlin, Narumi, Sagame, Seiden. I don't know. You wouldn't. Is Kyoko taller than Patchy? I don't know. I don't think so. Patchy is at least 2 Remy's tall, no. She's about the same height as Marissa. Yeah, Kyoko is Mistia sized. Mistia is not even the tallest one in the Baka squad. I'm gonna give it to Patchy. I'm gonna give it to June. Oh man, I'm giving it to Suiko. Okay, there you go, Kyoko. Okay, Raisin. Medicine's probably just barely taller. Urumi. Toyohime is around the same height as Yorihime, I think. So I would put that above Yuka. I'd put Yuka above Kogasa. I would put Kogasa above Sumireko. Sumireko above Maribel. Maribel above Ichidan. Ichidan above Sara. Sara above Mistia. These two are probably roughly the same size. I'll give it to Lyrica though. Tenchi. Mistia. Oh god damn it. I think Ryuki's taller. Aki's taller. I don't think Rumi is taller though. No, Rumi is not taller. Oh well, oh hold on, maybe. Maybe? These two are like the same size. No, Kozuza's a little bit taller. Rumi is taller. Kasume is taller than Shimi. Oku's taller than Kane. Ooh. I would give it to Alice. I would give it to Kane. I'd give it to Megamoo. Mugetsu. Mima. I don't really know for Yumeko. This theme is Blade of Banishment. Which game that is? I'm not sure. I'll give it to Yumeko. I would actually give this one to Mike. I would give this one to Quack. I think Reimu's taller than Ellie. Ellie's taller than Tokiko. Nazrin's taller than Tokiko. Tokiko's... No, I'd say Ike is still taller than Tokiko. Tokiko's probably taller than Tay. Tay is taller than Sunny. Eternity's taller than Sunny. Luna is taller than Sunny. Oh, alright, well. You know how my bias goes, but unfortunately for my bias, Ron is pretty up there. So is Mailing. Hello, bias. Misamaru. I would actually give this to Maeda. Tojiko. Ringo. I'd actually think Renko would be taller than Yamame. Yamame would be taller than Rukuto. Rukuto would be about as tall as Flan, maybe a little bit taller. Flan would be taller than Mai. Mai would be taller than Doremi. Probably around the same height as Rika, honestly. Rika taller than Satori. Satori taller than Star. Futo taller than Star. Suika. Suika is taller than Star. Oh, this is a hard one. This is actually a hard one. These two are both quite tall. Honestly, though, I think I would have to give it to Kanako because Kanako just exudes height. You know what I mean? This is the essay ending, yes. The name is The Earth Spirit's Homecoming. It's the ending theme. I would give it to Kanako. There's just something about Kanako's stature and like appearance that makes you think like that's the tall character. That character was designed to be tall and everyone knows it. Okina doesn't look short by any means either, but like something about Kanako's design just requires you to think like that, right? But Okina can be like, you know, Okina doesn't have to be super tall, but it feels weird if you don't see Kanako being like really tall, right? She's got that energy to her. Now, I do think Okina is taller than Fish because Fish cheats. Shion is lanky as fuck. Wagasaki's a special case because she's hard to like work properly because she's half fish. I think Mayumi would be taller. She's taller than Aya. I think Letty's taller than Aya. I think Hakata. These two talked. I know they did. And I'm certain Hakata is taller than Aya. Benben and Yatsuhashi. I would actually say that Benben is slightly taller than Aya. Aya's taller than Keiki. Hat's taller than Keiki. I would say Keiki, because when it comes to the Ichidan crew, from shortest to tallest, it'd definitely be Satori, Koishi, Oren, and Oku. But like, I wouldn't say that Keiki is shorter than Koishi, because I don't think Koishi and Satori are basically the same height. But like, something about Koishi makes me think that she's a smidgen taller. But again, I also think Satori is a marshmallow, so I just think I think she's shorter than she is. Satono, though. I would say Satono's a little bit taller. Koishi is taller than Yume. Minariko's taller than Yume. She's soft, man. I don't know how else to phrase it. She just looks like if you tried to pick her up, she would weigh like as much as a pillow. She would have no weight to her, and you would just be able to pick her up. That's what Satori looks like to me. That's what I mean when I say she looks like a marshmallow. Double KO'd on 5-2. Maybe you take a break for today, because that is going to be on your mind for the rest of the night, and you are not going to have a good time. You throw her and she squeaks like a rubber chicken. Well, I'm not going to throw her. I just want to pick her up. But if she squeaked like a rubber chicken, you know, it's kind of tempting. All right, so basically how this works is I click Yomu and Mel gets mad at me. Or I pick Seija and nothing happens. No, I'd say Seija is taller than Yomu anyway. Ellen? I think Ellen is super short. I don't fucking know what Shingyoku female is. Oh, okay. Mamizo is taller than Edin. Oh, undo that. Edin is taller than Momoyo. Yiko. Maybe Koishi feels taller to having other fighter sprites to compare to. I don't know what it is, because it's like, there isn't really anything to me that indicates that Flandre or Koishi are taller than their older sisters, but I just feel like they are, you know? There are some personality tropes that I associate with certain heights, so there's some bias there. Alright, I'm gonna go with, I think Yiko is still tall. I do think Momoyo is quite tall. I think she looks sick too. But I do think that she's not as tall as Yiko. And again, as I said earlier, I do think Shimada is just barely the tallest character in 18. Now here is the interesting one, because do I think Do I think Momoyo is taller than Iku? What is this? I can't read the name because the OST for this game is in Japanese. But it's one of the later ones. 14.5 or 15.5. Momoyo, but I'm also based. That's one way to phrase it. I know Iku and Shimada went up against each other, and I said Shimada was taller than Iku, but not by much. I would give this to Iku. I would actually give this to Iku, but only by a smidgen. And I would actually give this to Momoyo. Or would I? Would I? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would here, though. I think Kasena's taller than Murasa. I do think Yumemi is taller than Murasa. I'd say Murasa is just a smidgen taller than Rin. I think Rin's taller than Lunasa. I think Lunasa's taller than Kotohime. I actually don't think Yashie is that tall. I really don't. She feels really short to me. Not super short, mind you, but like pretty short. I see her as really short. Honestly, I do. I've always seen Saki as the tall one, but she's canonically short. So I can't imagine Yashie is like that much taller. I think she's a little bit taller than Reimu. I would, yeah, probably give it to her here. Kotohime is older, so I would give it to her here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think Shiri's taller. Saki's taller than Marissa. Sariel, obviously. Oh boy. Both of these characters exude tall energy. I don't know, man. There's just something about Junko's presence that makes her seem taller to me. But Yukari is taller than Komachi. Komachi, I think I would actually give this to Sanyo. And I would give this to Komachi. I think Byakuren is taller than Hina. This is the outside world from Genso Skydrift. I give it to Raiko. I think Hina's taller than Sakuya. I think Sakuya is taller than Reisen. I think Sega's taller than Reisen. Reisen's taller than Orange. And Sanai is about the same size as Sakuya. Eiki would be taller than Orange. Orange taller than Yatsushi. Put Nue a little bit above them. Chen. Miko. Kokoro. Omiji. Moko by a bit. Luis. Parsi's taller than Kutaka. Mioi probably taller than Kutaka. Kutaka taller than Sekibanki. Yoshika taller than Sekibanki. I actually want to say Kaguya is shorter. Taller than that, though. Tsukasa. Ellie. Nice. Gengetsu. Kana. Even Kikuri's human half is taller than Natori, but I'm pushing Kikuri out. Kongara, obviously. Yugi. I am honestly of the opinion that Sho is taller than Byakuren, and I think that Sho is taller than Urumi. Her horns pushes her over just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, great. Chat. Who's taller between these two? I know we've seen them in the same panel before. Where's Pluto? He would know. Who between these two is taller? Because they had a lot of panels to be in together. I want to say Yorihime, but like Toyohime is the older one. There he is, contemplating. We're waiting. I have absolutely zero knowledge on these characters in a deeper sense. I just look. I know that Yorihime is tall. I know that Toyohime is also tall. Both together. Hold on, we got image. Yorihime is taller. Yorihime is taller there. If you put them together, Yorihime is slightly taller. But, you know, Toyohime is still quite tall herself, so she's barely shorter than her. So I would give that to her. Nemono above Yuka. I do think I would consider Yuka taller than Kagero, but I would consider Kagero taller than Kokasa. Man, I don't know what it is with me and Shizuha, but like she gets taller by the second. Merlin, Kogasa, Narumi, because Narumi is the big lady. She was doing her shopping and Sumireko came in and was like, "Whoa, a talking statue," and Narumi was like, "Step back, bitch." Clap back, bang bang boom. Love this character. She's great. The Stone Lady. Sagame. Seiden. Sumireko. Maribel. Oh, Ichidan. Sara. Lyrica. Patchy. Tenshi. Shun. Suiko. Oh no. No! Kyoko. It was Kyoko. I remember. I have the image. Where's the image? There it is. Yeah, I think it's Kyoko. It's gotta be Kyoko. Lorelai's taller than Raisin. Raisin's taller than Yuki. Yuki's probably taller than Medicine. Aki's taller than Medicine. Mai's taller than Medicine. Kurumi's taller than Medicine. These two are probably really close to height. We're almost there, chat. Kozuzu. I think Medicine's taller than Rumia. I think Rumia is basically the same size as the fairies, but she's only taller, or she's only shorter than Daiose. But all the other fairies should be taller than. I also think Kasume is shorter than all the fairies. Oku, I do think Oku's taller than Ron. I think Ron's taller than Alice. I think Mei Ling is taller than Alice. Sorry, Rikako, but I do think Alice is taller than you. Oh. Rikako's taller than Kane. And here is where my bias. Has Cherno shown up yet? You know what? I think Cherno has shown up like twice, maybe at max. I actually cannot remember her showing up at all. What the fuck is she? Kane's taller than Misamaru. Misamaru's taller than Megamoo. Meida's taller than Megamoo. Megamoo's taller than Tojiko. Tojiko's taller than Mugetsu. Mugetsu's taller than Ringo. Nima's taller than Ringo. Ringo's taller than Yumiko. Yumiko's taller than Renko. Mike's taller than Renko. Kwakuma's taller than Renko. Renko's taller than Reimu. I think Reimu is taller than Yamame, but I think Yamame is taller than Ellie. I don't think Ellie's that tall. Rukoto is around the same height as Reimu. Flandre, hard to tell. Hard to tell with these two. Roughly the same size. But yeah, I give it to Ellie. I'm not really sure about this one. They're both pretty small. I think Nazarin is taller than Remy. Like I can picture Nazarin next to Remy and Nazarin being taller. I'm giving it to Nazarin. Just barely though. I do think Flandre is taller than Ebisu. Mai's taller than her. Doremi's taller than her. Rika's taller than her. Satori's taller than her. Futo is taller than her. Give me a minute. I'm thinking. Don't rush me. I'm thinking. I'm giving it to Suika. Ebisu. Tokiko. Tei. Larva. Star. Luna. Sunny. Okay. These two are big. No doubt about that. The question is, who's bigger? Remember, Mamizo, twice the size of a Kappa. Huge tail. May even look taller in her human form. Who knows? She's a big lady. Kanako, also big. Kanako. You really think Kanako? I can picture it. I can picture Kanako being about as tall as Ron and Yukari, honestly. However, I do think Mamizo is taller than Okina. I think Edin is taller than Okina. I think Yiko's taller than Okina. I think Okina is taller than Shimada? Do I think that? I actually don't. I actually don't. Actually, Igu's a little bit taller too. Shinky as well. Okina. Shion. Momoyo. Mayumi. Beach. Letty. Hikatia. Ben. Kasen. Yumemi. Aya, Hat, Murasa, Oren, Lunasa. Oh, I wonder about these two. Who's taller between these two? Oh, Hina's getting smaller by the second. There's ending art with both of them. I would say Yachie is probably taller than Keiki. Not by a whole, not how much though. Keiki. Tono's the taller one. Kotohime. Chiuri, honestly. Koishi. Minariko. I really think Sage is short. I really do. I really do. But do I think she's Saki short? Oh, baby. 15.5. Night Falls, Evening Star. I love this one. Crank it. There you go. Nah, I'm not gonna get too loud. I think Sage is taller than Saki. Saki's taller than Yum. Oh, they're the same height. So, Yomu. Marissa. Remy. On. Ooh. Ooh. I wonder about this one. Big Oni versus Angel of Death. Honestly, I think Sariel is taller. And then Kongura is taller. I actually legitimately think that Yugi is taller than Jinko. I do. And Jinko is taller than Sho. Yukari is taller than Sho. Sho is taller than Sanyo. Sanyo is taller than Urumi. Urumi's taller than Komachi. Yorihime is taller than Komachi, but Komachi is taller than Toyohime. Toyohime is taller than Byakuren, and Byakuren is taller than Nemono. Nemono is taller than Raiko. Raiko's taller than Yuka. Yuka, Hina, Sakuya, Kagero, Sega, Raisin, Snai, Eiki, Shizuo, Orange, New, Chen, Miko, Yatsuhashi, Kokoro, Momiji, Merlin, Kogasa, Narumi. Miko got extremely small in this. Some characters shrink, man. Sagame, Seiden. Okay. Does anyone remember who between these two was taller? Moko, Sumi. I just can't picture Sumireko being taller than Moko. I can't picture it. This is my list. You're right. You're right. It is my list. I would go with Moko being slightly taller than Sumireko. And Luis being taller than Sumireko. Parsi being taller than Sumireko. Sumireko being taller than Miyoi. Maribel being taller than Miyoi. Miyoi being taller than Ichidan. Hold on, let me catch the volume. Put it back down before it goes crazy. Alright, what's next? Give me the next one. Strike. Natori box. Kutaka. Yoshika. Ichidan. Sekibanki. Kaguya. Tsukasa. Sara. Rika. Pachi. Tenshi. Shun. Suwako. Kyoko. Mistia. Ellie. Dai, you say. Raisin. Gengetsu. Kana. Yuki. Essentially how Sagame's ability works is whenever she talks, she sets the opposite of what she meant. She sets the events in motion of the opposite of what she says. She can't just create things to happen, but she can set things on the course. For example, in the Grimoire of Usami, she shows up at the end of the book and announces that the fireworks festival is going to go on forever. And shortly after she proclaims that, the excitement dies down and the party's over. So she can't control fate necessarily, but like she can very easily sway the course of it. So she refrains from talking too much. As a result. And as a result, she is a very difficult character to write for because she's not allowed to ever fucking talk. No, I don't imagine Natori like Sukuna, but I imagine Natori like... You gotta look it up, man. Just Forbidden Scrollery Natori. I swear to God. She's so small. And that's my favorite Natori. Speaking of that, Aki's taller than her. My. Kurumi. Kazuzu. Medicine. Rumia. Natori. Clown. Sume. Sukuna wins a matchup by default. Kanako or Oku? Now, we actually know this one. We know that Kanako had to look up at Oku to talk to her. Oku is fucking big. Big. Ooh, a hard one. I would still give it to Kanako, because I put Kanako around the same height as Yukari, and if Yukari is taller than Ron, then there you go. Mamizo versus Ron. That's a hard one. I believe this is from PODD. Selection. Yeah, it's character select. Right? I'm telling you, Natori in Forbidden Scrollery is actually, like, smaller than a fairy. I'm not joking. That's the Natori I saw and was like, that's my Natori now. That's the Natori I love. I think Mamizo is taller than Ron. Not by much. Not by much. Take off their hats. But I do think Mamizo is a little bit taller, because Mamizo is a tall character. Edin, though. I would put Edin above Ron, but I would put Ron above Yiko. I would actually give this to Mei-Ling. And I'll give this to Yiko. Shimada. Iku or Alice? Now, I don't think Iku is that much shorter. I would give this to Iku. Well, this one's a little bit easy to play here. Shaky is taller than Alice. Okina's taller than Alice. Shion's taller than Alice. Alice, I think, is still taller than Momoyo. Momoyo, I think, is taller than Rikako. Mayumi's taller than Rikako. Fish. Hello, my bias. Kane or Letty? Kane. Letty. Misamaru. Hikatia. Maeda. Megamoo. Tojiko. Mugetsu. Ben. Mima. Kasen. Yumemi. Aya. Hat. Ringo. Murasa. Yumiko. Strawberry Crisis. Yes. Fuck, I love Strawberry Crisis. Cat battle. So Chen's the new tall girl in town. She's the big lady. I guess that would make Mike the shortest one. Yeah, I think Oren's the tallest one. Maybe it's the way she carries herself. I think Mike's taller than Lunasa though. Lunasa's taller than Kwakama. Verdant Scroller did Natori dirty. Look how small she is. Look how small she is. She's so small. She's gotta look up at Kasen. Yashie. Quack. Keiki. Renko. Reimu. Satono. Kotohime. Yamame. Ukuto. Shiori. Koishi. Minariko. Seija. Ellie. Saki. Chad, is Nazarin taller than Yomu? There's no way, right? There's no way. That's the giant rat. Is she not tall? I made her taller than Flan. Although I think, no, I do think Marissa's taller than Flan, so I would give this to Yobu. And there you go. Oh, well, there you are. Speaking of. Flandre. My Remilia, Doremi, Rika, Satori, Futo. Now these two are basically the same size. Alright, like, come on. I actually think On might be a little bit taller. Their faces are the same. They're happy. Happy times. Both Reimu's pets. Alright, well, I'm not gonna be the one that tells Suika that. Not unless you want to get a gourd upside the head. Another panel of Chen and CDS, and they're even standing full upright, counting her ears. She only comes up to Ron's shoulders, so I think we're overselling her height just a bit. That's still pretty tall. If she's only a head shorter than Ron. Some characters are only about a chest size with Ron. We're just gonna push that one all the way to the back. Sariel. Kongara. Oh, who's... These are like the two tallest characters in the series, bar the previous two you just saw. I think it's Yugi. I think it's Yugi. I think Yugi is the tallest character. But Oku's like right behind her. Kanako versus Jinko. Jinko. These two are about the same height, but I think Yukari is a little bit taller. And then Kanako follows. Mamizo versus Sho. Because remember, I think Sho is taller than Byakuden. Sho really that big? She's pretty tall. She's got quite a stance. I wonder. I can't imagine they're that different. At this point, we're really splitting hairs on it. They might as well be the same size. Honestly, I think I'd give it to Sho. Sho is like... I don't even know if Sho is actually that tall, but something about her makes me think, wow, she's big. Sanya's also quite tall. I know that. Sho taller than Ron. I said Mamizo is taller than Ron. I don't know if I said Sho was taller than Ron. It's hard to remember. Ooh. Classics. White Tamari. I love that the busy person OST pops up with Alice's face. So I know it. Oh, I know when I got the busy person track. After Forbidden Scrollery, they nerfed Natori's size, so she is that small. She's adorable when she's that small, even though she carries a crowbar around and is collecting protection money. But you know, she's still cute. I'll give it to Mamizo. I give it to Edin. These two are very close in size. Very, very, very close in size. Natori being that size reminds me of the bridge troll from Dora the Explorer. The grumpy old troll. She was just as grumpy. What are you doing in here, Tanuki? And the panel just swoons over, and it's just like, wow, you look small. And then in the next panel, she's next to Mamizo, and Mamizo is basically slanted over looking down to get a glimpse of her. And I was just like, oh my god, Natori, what what happened? Did you sink into the ground with too much weight in your bag? Ron. Sanyo. Urumi. Meiling. Yiko. Yorihime. Shimada. Komachi. Iku. Toyohime. Shinki. Byakuden. Okina. Nemono. Shion. Alice. Momoyo. Mayumi. Raiko. Fish. Yuka. Hina. Rikako. Kana. Letty. Misamaru. Hikatia. Maeda. Megamoo. Tojiko. Mugetsu. Sakuya. Benben. Kagero. Sega. Reisen. Snai. Eiki. Shiza. Orange. Mima. Snai is a big girl. She's a big girl. Nue. Kasen. Chen. Yumemi. Miko. Aya. Hat. Yatsashi. Kokoro. Momiji. Ringo. Merlin. Murasa. Hogasa. Yumeko. Oren. Mike. Lunasa. Yeah, Merlin. Narumi. Sagame. Seiren. Yashie. Quack. Moko. Keiki. Luis. Parzi. Oh. Chot. Shot. Oh god, piano shredding. Sumi's in high school, Renko's in college. Yeah, you got a point there. Oh, I actually don't know. Sumireko is believed to be one of, Renko is believed to be Sumireko's, like, descendant. I don't know if that's the correct word for it. But they have the same names, similar looks, same hat. And both are interested in ESP. There's a lot of parallels to their characters. Same club, yeah, the Hifu Ceiling Club. I guess Reimu, Sumireko, Maribel, Satono, Kotohime, Mioi, Yamame, Mukuto, Shieri, Kutaka, Yoshika, Koishi, Minariko, Ichidan, Sekibanki, Seija. I don't think Ichidan is that tall. Her size is doubled because she has a big cloud grandpa hanging out with her. But I consider her to be quite short. Kaguya, Ellie, Saki, Tsukasa. Tsukasa's kind of lanky, kind of thin, slim. Sarah. Yum. Marissa. Lyrica. Patchy. Tenshi. Jun. Suiko. Kyoko. Mistia. Rat! Blonde. Mai. Ellie. Remy. Doremi. Rika. Satori. Futo. On. Suika. Eika. Dayuse. Reisen. Gengetsu. Kana. Tokiko. Te. Eternity. Not Eternity. Yuki. Akio. Mai. Kurumi. Kozuzu. Medicine. Rumia. Natori. Eternity. Clown. Kasume. Star. Luna. Sunny. Lily. Sakuna. Doesn't matter. Ellen. Hey, there's Chirno! We did it. Why was Chirno only at the end? How come Takane like, didn't show up? Oh, she showed up like once, I think. Alright, chat. Let's see the top 10. Sariel, Kongara, Yugi, Oku, Junko, Yukari, Kanako, Sho, Mamizo, and Edin. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. So who was the smallest? Takane? Takane and Wriggle? How did that happen? They only got one match. There's no fucking way. How did that happen? That wasn't supposed to happen. The sorter was not meant to be done like this. She was in one match against Natori, and then I guess that just meant I hated her. Who do you like better, Natori or Takane? I like Natori. Oh, so you hate Takane then? What? No, no, you hate her. She's all the way at the bottom. She's smaller than Lily White. How did that happen, dude? Why the fuck did Chirno get blasted all the way to the bottom, never to be seen from again? I want to see the, let me see. So Ron was 11th. And then Sanyo was 12th. Urumi was 13th. Mailing was 14th. Yiko. Shimada was 17th. So my top 10. My top 10. My top 10. Can't see it anymore. Hold on. Let me zoom in for you so you can see it. That's the important part. Zoom. 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 Zoom more. Sariel. Yak. So yeah, there you go. So I consider Jinko to be very tall. So Sariel and Kongara are the tallest, easily. What song is this? Peaceful Romancer. It's PC 98. Yugi is the tallest character in Windows canon. Followed by Oku. something about Jinko that just makes me think that she's huge. Followed by Yukari, then Kanako. Damn. Sho got really high up there. And then Mamizo and Edin, followed by Ron. Where did my biases come into play? Wow, I had Nue as taller than Kasen. Chen barely. Yumemi. Chen taller than Yumemi. Snai. Snai is taller than Eiki. Snai is shorter than Eiki, but taller than Shizua. Where is Rikako? Sega. Wow, I got Benben and Yatsuhashi up pretty high. Something about them made me think they were tall. Katya, Letty. There she is, 33rd. Taller than Kane, shorter than Hina. It's a respectable height. Sho's a tall girl. She's tall, she's big. Look at her, even the art makes her look big. I mean, if you're gonna be the avatar of a god, you better have a presence, right? Alice at 26. Dude, Alice is remarkably tall. Kurumi, Meiling, Yiko, Yorihime, Toyohime. I like how I have 3 characters between Yorihime and Toyohime, despite them being nearly identical in size. I really like Shimada being tall, don't I? Put her over Komachi and Iku. And then Byakuda and Okina. Where's Momoyo? Momoyo's 27th. Momoyo's shorter than Alice. Alice is a big girl, alright? She's a big girl. This is Reimu. Reimu and Sumereko, look at this. Look at this. This is basically the middle, and this is what I consider to be average height for the characters as the base. So that kind of worked out. Moko. Quack. Narumi at 70th. Shiori. Koishi. Nazarin at 110th. Nazarin taller than Flandre. Okay. Seika, Dayuse. Wow, Dayuse made it kind of high. Where is... Oh, you can't see the other page, unfortunately. I'm looking for Satori. I don't see her. Where's Satori? Oh, she's right in front of my fucking face. Damn. Satori is only taller than Futo, On, and Seika. Doremi is also just as small. Damn. Satori is somehow smaller than Remy. I have no idea how that happened because those two never got paired up. Where's Yumemi at? She's at 77th, I think it was. Not 77th, 50 or something, I think. Here she is, 55th. 55. Suiko bigger than Kyoko. Well, the sorter wasn't perfect, but this is the general idea, I suppose, of how I think characters kind of are relative to their size. Obviously, there's a lot of errors and issues, and some of it's the sorter's fault. Some of it is just because there's a lot of characters to remember. Oh, where's Seija? Where's Seija? Seija is 95th. Taller than Kaguya. Sorta was not made for this kind of question. No, but I had fun doing it, even if it took 3 hours. And there you go. Now, the funny thing is, out of all the characters in the top 10, I like 4 of them, maybe, if you can believe it. I think Sariel and Kongara are cool design-wise. I don't really know anything about them, so I don't really count them. I like Yugi. I like Junko. I like Yukari. And I like Sho. I am not a fan of Kanako. That might change soon. I don't care that much about Mamizo. I don't mind her, but she is not a character I like. It's not a character I love, but like when she shows up, I'm not gonna complain. And Edin is a character who I've been on and off again for a long time. I either like the character or I don't like the character, and right now I really just don't care about the character. And Oku, I got nothing against her. She's just not the kind of character I like. That's all. That's literally it. Oku's fine. Her design is really cool. Her powers are sick, and her she's a cool character, but she is just not the kind of character I really particularly like. I like all the other. Well, I say all the other, but I don't really like Koichi as much as Satori and Oren. I like Oren and Satori the most for sure. But that was fun. Seika dropped from 2nd to 120th. Well, she is very small. Right? She is small. Kyoko and Mistia ended up together, at least. So that made sense. I do find it funny how Satori managed to be shorter than Remy. Next time we sort them based on how alcohol tolerant they are. Well, this sorter was fun. There are plenty of other ideas I could try. And you know what, Chad? I hope you had a good time too with this because, well, it was pretty silly. It was pretty silly, but it was a lot of fun. And you know what? Maybe we can do an age sorter. Oh no. We can try. We can try. But again, the sorter is not the greatest thing for this, but we can try it for sure. Sometime in the future with actual lore deets. Remember, this took 3 hours, so we're gonna need a big one. I ain't making a booba list. No. No. I ain't making a booba list. No booba list from me. All right. You have to go to someone else to find that one, or you can just hit Google. I was gonna pop open Google. All right. But that's there you go. That's the sorter. All right. Excellent. Very good. I don't know what else to say other than, yeah, it looks right to me. It honestly, yeah. You could argue some of the, like, Ron could replace one of them, but if you ask me, like, who are the tallest characters in the series, even if you took out Sario and Kongura, like, these are probably the characters you would think of. Maybe not Sho. I don't know. Some people seem to disagree with me on Sho, but I genuinely think she's very tall. So, you know, remember, at the end of the day, it's my opinions. And the character art that you see for the image can sway biases as well, because it's also fan art, right? So some characters are drawn in specific ways. Like Sho looks exceptionally tall in her art here, but she is tall. I wouldn't say Yugi looks that tall, but I know she's tall. But for the most part, all these characters in their art like look the part, right? But then Chirno doesn't look the part. Neither does Kukuri, but then you remember Kukuri is a fucking moon, so there you go. Touhou Sora only chat did the deciding and not the streamer. If I left it to a poll for chat, it would take forever. But it would be neat to see a general consensus on characters. But some people live and die by the horny, which means the list would probably just look like that, no matter what you try to avoid. Hey, I like Chirno. I like Chirno. I like Shinky. Who do you like, chat? And then chat's gonna be like, that's actually a hard one, because that's gonna be a battle between memes and mommies. So, you know, I regret saying that. Anyway, cool. Happy fun time. Goodbye. Hope you enjoy Tall Girls as much as I do.